I want to cry right now because I just had to turn off all my fans and close all my windows. And it is like 90 degrees in here. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding. It's 82 in here. 82 degrees. I don't even know if I'm gonna survive this video, but this is how much I love YouTube. If you see my face literally sweating the whole time, that's why. Hey guys, what's up? It's River, and I haven't been in this filming spot in forever. It feels so nice to like be back here doing a sit down video. I literally can't remember the last time I did a sit down video, so it feels really nice. Today's video isn't anything crazy or super fun, but I have been waiting to do this video for a while and I have gotten some requests for it as well. I'm going to be sharing with you guys all my high school stats, meaning my weighted and unweighted GPA, ACT, SAT scores, and all my AP scores. Basically, revealing and exposing myself and all my stats, basically everything that went on my college application. I don't know why these videos are so popular, but I love watching these too. I guess I'm just super nosy. But the reason I waited so long for this video is because, as some of you know, AP scores just all came out, so I had to wait a long time to get my AP scores back for this year. So those just came out, so now I officially have all my high school stats to share with you guys. I know that disclaimers are super annoying, but this video isn't meant to brag at all. This is literally just to, like, I don't know. I feel like for people like me who watched a ton of these like a year ago, it's helpful to know where someone's going to college and then what helped them get into that college or what maybe set them back. I also just know that some of you wanted to know. So in case you were wondering about my high school stats, I'm about to reveal literally all of them. Oh, I'm also going to be sharing with you guys just some tips along the way of like things maybe I wish I did when I was in high school and things like that, just to help you guys out to go along with these stats. And lastly, I just want to say that your stats don't define you, and this doesn't put me above anyone else or below anyone else. Just wanted to say that, as cheesy as it sounds. This is so weird because I've been out of high school for like 3 months now, and going back in and like seeing all these, I don't know, my head's just been so out of there. Like I'm just out of high school at this point, so it feels weird even talking about high school again. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my high school GPA. This is pretty basic. I'm going to share with you guys my weighted and my unweighted. So if you guys don't know the difference, basically your unweighted GPA is just your regular GPA that you would see on a basic transcript, and a weighted basically comes in if you have taken any AP or advanced placement classes. The whole system is kind of confusing, and even I'm not an expert, but the simplest way I can explain it is basically if you get an A in an AP class, that counts as a 5.0 rather than a 4.0, whereas before, like with the unweighted, if you get an A, it just counts as a 4.0. And then if you get a B in an AP class, that counts as a 4.0. So it kind of sets you above if you take AP classes. Sorry if that was a really bad explanation, but basically the point of doing weighted GPAs is to give kids who take AP classes extra credit, because AP classes are a lot harder, obviously, so that if you can't get an A, you still get like a 4.0, if that makes sense. Anyways, my unweighted GPA for the entirety of my 4 years at high school was a 4.0. I never got a B. I got all straight A's across the board, and that's what's on my transcript. So yeah, I got a 4.0. Pretty proud of that. I actually put in a lot of hard work to get my 4.0, and I think that's something that made me stand out to a lot of colleges. And my weighted GPA, I'm actually confused about because I actually never received my final high school transcript for this year. I'm pretty sure my college just received it and they had to like approve it, but they never sent it to me, and I can't contact my school anymore because my school email was deleted. So I don't actually know my final weighted GPA, but I'm assuming that it's going to be higher than the one that I have because more grades and AP classes were taken into account. So with that said, the last weighted GPA that I got in my transcript was a 4.247. That's just the one I have right now to share with you guys. A 4.2 actually isn't an amazing weighted GPA. I know a lot of my friends who had like 4.6, but I just didn't take that many AP classes. So it's not that I did bad in them, because like I just told you guys, I never got a B in high school. It's just that I didn't take that many AP classes to get that high weighted GPA. And this is where I wanted to tell you guys my first tip, which is definitely take advantage of AP classes and jump on them early in high school. This doesn't go for everybody, but if you are anything like me and you're a very driven learner, I feel like I was afraid to just dive into the AP classes because I was scared that I would fail them and like get a B, fail them and like get a B. Which is actually really dumb because a B would have still been a 4.0. So I think I was too afraid to just like go into them right away. And I didn't take any AP classes my sophomore year, which I could have. I also only took 4 AP classes the entirety of high school, which is still a lot. But with the schools I was applying to, like Stanford, UCLA, Wash U, it definitely just did not measure up when you compared it to other kids who had like 6 to 10 AP classes. So that's my first tip. All right, so now moving on to ACT and SAT scores. So I did take both the ACT and the SAT. I definitely 2000,000,000% prefer the ACT over the SAT. Again, this is all based on preference, but my next tip is to take the ACT more and put more time and energy into the ACT if you have a choice. Most colleges all across the country accept both, like they'll accept one or the other. So I definitely recommend taking the ACT if you're gonna choose one of them and like put more time into studying for the ACT. I don't know why, it wasn't even that the SAT was that much harder, it's just that I did significantly better on the ACT, and by significantly I mean like if you compare the two scores, I just like don't even want to share my SAT score right now with you guys, but I'm going to because I don't really care. You can take both like I did, I just wanted to see which one would give me a better score, but the ACT ended up giving me a better score every single time. So I took the ACT actually 4 times, which is crazy. Please don't take it that many times if you don't need to. I'm just a perfectionist and I really wanted to get the score that I wanted. I only took the SAT once, but I did also take the PSAT. I took the pre-ACT too. So I took both of them, like the pre version, but then I took the ACT 4 times and the SAT only once. I feel like I'm talking way too fast, and for anyone who can't keep up with this, you're probably so confused. Anyways, you guys are probably wondering why I took the ACT so many times, and it's because I was working toward a certain score, and I'll explain that in a second because you'll know what I mean once I explain it. But I started taking the ACT in February of my junior year, and I know that's pretty early, but I actually recommend taking it even earlier. Like if I could go back, I would have started taking the ACT at the beginning of my junior year. It's just really helpful to take it as soon as possible. As soon as you become a junior, I know it's going to be a lot coming at you, but start taking standardized tests as soon as possible. Even though it's going to suck, you have such a better chance to get a better score. I improved by at least 1 point each time I took the ACT, even if I didn't feel confident about it, even though it still sucked. I literally improved each time. It's scientifically proven that you're going to do better the more you take it. So start on it early because you will not regret it, and you do not want to be that one kid that's taking it at the beginning of their senior year and trying to rush to get their score in and not having enough time to retake it before it's due by their college. So I'll start by telling you guys my ACT score. I actually got a 30 composite score, and the reason I took it 4 times is because I wanted to get a 30 because I was close to a 30, and I knew that a 30 was like a really good number, like a really nice milestone to reach, because a difference between a 29 and a 30 to colleges can be a lot. Anywhere in the 20s is still good, it's still a good score, but I really just wanted to get into the third digit. No, that's still 2 digits. Not third digit, but like the next decade of it. You guys know what I mean, okay? It's like the difference between a 29 and a 30 is a lot in the college mindset. I'm gonna move you guys down a bit because I feel like it's too high and now it's not centered. Has the camera been weird the whole video? I don't even know. There's also an option on both the ACT and the SAT to take it with an essay or without an essay. I took both with the essay just because I thought why not? It might look better to colleges if I take the essay with it just to see how good of a score I get. So the ACT essay score is like scored separately than the rest of the ACT. So let's say you get a really bad essay score, it won't bring down your composite score. The essay for the ACT is scored from, I believe, like 2 to 12. 2 is being like the worst, 12 is being like the best, and 12 is like really hard to get. I actually got an 11 on the ACT essay, which is insane. I was so surprised because that was like a really hard score to get. So I was really happy about that. But I remember on one of the essays I got like an 8, so it can really just depend on like the topic of the essay. As far as my SAT score, I took the SAT with essay, and I took it on May 3rd, 2019, which was over a year ago. I actually took this on the day of prom, which was insane. I should not have done that, but I didn't know it was the day of prom, and then I'd already registered and paid like the $70 to take it, so I couldn't really go back. I just remember taking the SAT and then running out of the school and driving to my friend's house and getting ready for prom. It was so bad. I really should not have done that. But I got a total score of 1230 on the SAT. 1230 is like not a bad score. I don't want to say it's a bad score because it's really not. It just doesn't measure up to my ACT score. Actually, I want to look it up right now. I want to look up like the conversion. So a 1230 on the SAT converts to a 26 on the ACT. So you guys can see kind of the comparison. I got a 30 on the ACT, and if you would have compared that like in ACT terms, my SAT score was only a 26. So I definitely recommend the ACT once again, like I've said a million times. First of all, the essay was a lot easier, and I feel like the entire ACT just went a lot smoother for me. There weren't 2 math sections. The SAT has 2 math sections, and it sucks. But just because that was the case for me does not mean that will be the case for you. So take both and then maybe decide for yourself. Hi guys, so while editing this video, I just felt the need to pop in because during the editing process, I kind of realized how snotty and almost bitter I sound during this entire video. As you can tell, I hold myself to pretty high standards, and I just wanted to pop in and let you guys know that none of the things that I say have to go for you. college was very important to me and is still very important to me, but that doesn't mean it has to be for you. You don't have to go to college in order to be successful, and you definitely don't have to get a perfect SAT score or a perfect ACT score in order to be perfect or measure up to anything. So I know I already said that, but I just feel like the way I'm talking about like myself and how high of standards I had for myself during this whole process, I just kind of wanted to make that clear. And I also wanted to say that I think I was hating on the SAT way too much. I only took it once, and if I took it more times like I took the ACT, then I probably would have gotten a similar score. So take what works best for you and don't take anything I say too critically. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll let you get back to the video now. And lastly, I'm gonna go over my AP scores for all my AP classes that I took. So like I told you guys before, I took a total of 4 AP classes. I took 2 my junior year and 2 my senior year. Explaining these things has ended up being a lot harder than I thought, but basically how AP scores work is you take a national AP exam, right? It's supposed to be really hard. So there's 5 different scores you could get. You could get a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So 1 or 2 is like you didn't pass. 3, 4, 5, you did pass. And most colleges will take like, they'll accept a 3, a 4, or a 5 for college credit. Some colleges will only accept like a 4 or a 5, it just depends, but if you get a 3, 4, or a 5, it's considered that you passed. And these tests are extremely difficult, so if you get like a 50%, I think, or above, that's like a 3, so just to put it in perspective for you, 4 is like you did pretty good, and 5 is like perfect score, like almost like really, really good. So my junior year, I took AP Psychology and AP English Lang and Composition. I hated AP Lang, just so you know, that's not really relevant to the video, but I do not recommend taking AP Lang. If you are considering it, I just really didn't like it, but I worked really hard on the test and got a 3 somehow. I really did not think I would pass it, but I did, which is pretty exciting. I don't know if I can use that for any type of college credit, but I was pretty happy that I got a 3 on that test. And then I took the AP Psychology test and I got a 4. I know a lot of people who got a 5, and I think I could have gotten a 5 on the AP Psych test because it wasn't that hard, but either way, I passed both of those tests, which is really exciting. And now moving on to this year's tests. You guys can probably tell these tests were a little more interesting. So I also took 2 AP classes this year. I took AP Calculus AB and AP US Government and Politics. These are both really popular AP classes, and if any of you out there took AP Gov, I'm pretty sure you all know that the passing rate is pretty low, at least from my understanding. Not a lot of people pass it or get a 5. The actual course wasn't even that bad, but the test is just really heavily set out. This year it was modified format because of COVID-19, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but I still just did not feel great about the AP Gov test. And when I submitted it, I was like, it wasn't that I didn't put effort into it. Like, I put so much effort into it, but it just like didn't feel great. History, weirdly enough, has always been kind of difficult to me. Sorry about that car. It's weird because I actually really enjoy like history and government, but it's always been one of my worst subjects. So at this point, I've beat around the bush enough. I feel like I should just rip this band-aid off. This isn't even that big of a deal, but I got a 2 on the AP Gov test, and my friend got a 5, which my friend Miles, I cannot believe, like, dang, so proud, but like also like, dang, how, I don't know. Anyways, I'm not that mad about it. It's not like Chapman's gonna kick me out and not let me come, or at least I hope they won't. Anyways, the good news is I got a 5 on the AP Calculus AP exam, and I actually loved calc, which a lot of people call me crazy for. They're like, how can you love math? I don't know, I just loved calc. It's not that I even love math in general, it's just that I really loved calc. I had such an amazing teacher and I just really connected with her, and she did such a good job preparing us for the exam, and I just like flew through the year with calc. It was like my easiest class, and I definitely think I worked up to the 5. I think I was well prepared for it, so I'm really happy about that. Something really funny about this whole thing is I'm trying to decide what I want to minor in college, and right now I'm like right in between political science or business administration. So whether I want to go more toward like the history government side or more of like the mathy side, and I'm pretty sure these scores were assigned from the universe that I should go the more mathy side. Even though poli-sci really interests me, I feel like I would be behind a lot because I'm just like not the best with the government and history. It's really weird though because I'm like so interested in it and I'm always setting up on it, and I love talking about like current issues and stuff like that. I'm also like always an advocate for change and like political change. I feel like I like to speak up when I think there's an issue. So poli-sci is something that really interests me and is something I still might want to go into. Yeah. Hopefully I didn't leave anything out for this video. Hopefully this was entertaining to you. I feel like I was just rambling about nerd stuff and numbers the whole time. Oh yeah, One more tip for you guys, extracurricular activities. I could literally spend an entire video just talking about how my extracurricular activities helped me get into college and how much of them I built up for myself. Get involved in high school. Get involved in high school. I cannot repeat that enough, because that's what's going to distinguish you from the person next to you. When colleges are reading your application, you could have the exact same numbers as someone else, but your extracurricular activities and what makes you different could make you get in and that person not. So these numbers, they may have helped me, they may have hurt me, but either way, don't just consider numbers as the only thing that's going to help you get into college. I promise they're not. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to click the like button down below if you enjoyed, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me in the future. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.